Anurag Kulshrestha as well. Rizwan Siddiqui was talking about how this is a big evidence that the cops should have immediately taken note of and acted upon. But the friend of the deceased says, despite the police witnessing the footage, they did not immediately take it as evidence.
Yeah, well said, Swati. There are few things which I just want to point out, like as a point of road safety as a whole. Our safe system approach says that the system to minimize the impact of the crash by providing the safe road as well as the stringent actions, that is by enforcement agencies. Now our police is totally untrained entirely nationally, not Gurugram police. They are doing the investigation in such manner. There's no proper crash investigation and related to other factors also, ignored factors. Now, I am just pointing out the two things. Video is clearly showing it's a rash driving by the bikers, group of bikers. They are at a speed of around 100, 120 on a speed where this speed is mentioned around 50 on Golf Course Road. They are at a speed of 100 and 120. You can see that biker is also coming from the third lane and entering to the first lane like they are moving on this racing track. Number two, I think all bikers group, the entire biker groups must be booked also for rash driving. Number two, that because our infrastructure is very poor over there and not here but everywhere. It's a curved road, and on the curved road, if a person is coming from this curve and to that curve, visibility must be clear here. And if you'll see at the divider, that is a median, there's a greenery or the vegetation is up to 5 feet, which is against the law IRC codes. So I think the party should be there for this construction agency, that is GMDA also. And the lack of this actions by the police, why they are focusing on just death and this accused as well as the victim. Both the parties must be focused simultaneously because these are the common cases.
Okay. One other thing.
Happening everywhere. This is not the first case when we are discussing on such points.
One other thing that has come to fore, Mr. Jain, is that Kuldeep Thakur, the accused in this case, had multiple challans for wrong side driving, according to reports coming in. And the fact that he was allowed to go on proved to be fatal for someone else.
There must have been political pressure. I think he was working for some media company which is working for BJP. There was a sticker of BJP also. I don't agree with the previous speaker that police is not trained. Police is trained. This is a pure and simple case. There is definite knowledge with every policeman that how such cases should be dealt with. And if they are not dealing against the offenders under proper sections, they are under pressure. They are under pressure from the ruling party, which is in government in Haryana also. This should not have been done.
There was a BJP sticker on the car, but has it been established that there was pressure on the police? Rizwan Siddiqui, is it suspicious because of the manner in which the police acted?
Yeah. What my learned co-panelist just discussed, giving both sides of the argument, is something that is done in the court, not done by police. Police officers have to act on the scene of crime and they have to collect from the scene of crime and not assume and presume what was the size of the road or the dimension or the curve or the size of the tree or what happened. They are supposed to, because there is a death here. Okay, if there is a counter case to be filed, then in the counter case, those other things can come up. But we are talking about an FIR which has been registered because of a death cause. So the police is not supposed to assume the position of a judge and get into cross arguments. They are only supposed to collect evidence and file an FIR based on the evidence and based on the panchnama that they do. Now, in this case, whatever the argument may be, from the point of the defense tomorrow in the court, what my learned co-panelist was just arguing about other things in defense. But in this case, the police is not supposed to assume that position. Now, what I see is that all the police officers, including a Havaldar level man, would know when there is a death cause, because this is not the first death in our history that this is the first case of death and police officers are not trained. This is happening on routine basis, daily basis. Death on road is a very common thing. On highways, it is a very common thing. So in such a case, when they can see that the man has not produced license, the man has got multiple challans, the man has been driving on the wrong side of the road. Now, whatever was the reason, it has resulted into death. And it is, since it has resulted into death, it is the duty of the police officers to ensure that no evidence is tampered, no witnesses are influenced. So therefore, the man
Also,
should
Rizwan Siddiqui,
not
in the
be
first
out.
place to identify and acknowledge that there is a video there. There is a video evidence present. The friends are
Absolutely.
alleging that they did not immediately
Absolutely.
seize it. Biggest question is why?
So that is why I'm answering this particular. Just allow me another 30 seconds. I'll just tell you what. So now when you let out a person on bail so casually because of the fact that the provisions that you've invoked under the provision of law was so light that the person could, just be allowed to go home. Now this person will definitely, hold the position of influencing witnesses, of tampering with evidences. So who's going to be responsible for all of this? So it is the duty, it is the paramount duty of the police, which represents the state as a law enforcement agency, that they should ensure that justice is delivered, because
Absolutely.
they are the people
Justice
who
is
do
delivered.
investigation.
New
Yeah.
traffic rules are in place. The laws are even more stringent now. Despite that, if
Right.
there is no implementation on ground,
Absolutely.
then there'll be no change. Unfortunately, people may continue to lose their lives in such incidents, and the accused may even go scot-free. Thank you very